Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, super welcome. I noticed we've got a lot of new subscribers and I want to shout you out and say thank you for taking the time to stop. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and thank you for taking the time to hit the subscribe button and the like button and joining us here on the phenomenal Miss James education motivation family. So thank you on that. In today's video, we will be talking about reprogramming, retraining our mind, right? So that's the what. We're talking about reprogramming our mind, changing our thinking, getting rid of that stinking thinking. And now we're gonna look at the why, and then we're gonna get into the how to, right? The how. Now the why is super important, and it's super important because let's think about it. Why would you want to reprogram your mind? Why would you want to do things differently? You know, Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So it's important for us in moments when we want to attract something new, in moments where there's something that we're going for that we want to achieve. It's important that we take new strategies when the ones that we're doing are not working. So stay tuned. Thank you so much again for joining me in this conversation. We're talking about renewing our minds. Renewing, restoring, reprogramming our minds in order to attract that which we desire. I think back to a time when I had a lot of great things that were happening, and not to say that great things aren't happening now, because great things are happening now. Miracles are happening, and miracles are happening now. Notice that I am practicing what it is that I am talking about today. But I think back to a few years ago when I wanted to do some modeling, I wanted to do some acting, and I went as far as taking some time off of work to travel all the way back to Jamaica in order to join this modeling competition, because I decided that, you know what, if the United States is not where it's at for me in terms of modeling, I'm going to go back to my hometown and secure that modeling gig. So I packed up my things and I traveled abroad, went overseas to Jamaica. And at this moment, I had a few things that were working for me. And when I say a few things, I mean in the unseen realm. Got to the country and I was so focused. I was writing down a lot of things at that moment. I was jotting, writing, you know, really focusing on manifesting. And this time came after I had done a workshop with an organization whose name I will not say at this moment, and it was about tapping into your greatest self, accessing those parts of you, those childhood dreams, those childhood memories. And so I wanted to connect with my desire for modeling. I wanted to connect with my desire for acting. And so I packed up my things, as I said, and I headed on over to Jamaica. Financial wise, I had a strict budget. Wasn't quite sure where I was going to get the excess money for like sponsorship for the competition, but in sharing my desires and those affirmations, I started to have friends who were supporting and sending money to say, hey, I support what you're doing, here's some money. And I had all these amazing things that were coming in and happening. Here's the thing. A competition like that, usually 90-something% of the time, they already know which of the contestants they're thinking about being the winner. It was a modeling competition, and if you won the competition, then you'd have all these opportunities granted to you, unless given to you, or should I say, you would have the potential to do a lot of different modeling gigs, modeling campaigns based on your winning the competition and designers or companies that were available or were looking for your look or body type. The competition was supposed to be 1 month. It was evident that this competition was going to take more time. So I already knew that one, this competition is not what I expected, and two, it was gonna take longer. So what did I do? I stayed the 5 months, and in the 5 months, some great things happened for me. One is that I got the opportunity to spend some time with my amazing, phenomenal great grandma, RIP, love her, beyond pieces, beyond atoms, beyond cells. Amazing woman that sacrificed her life to raise my family. I got the chance to spend 5 months with her, unknowing, not realizing or knowing, because I wouldn't have known that a few months later after my return, she would have transitioned home to glory. And so that was one amazing thing that came out of that experience. You know how the Bible says all things are working for my good? All things are working for my good. The second thing was that I had the chance to speak to some amazing scholars at different schools in Jamaica. A friend of mine was working at a community-based organization that taught students literacy, taught them different academic skills, and also helped with classwork, homework, and was able to connect me with the schools so that I could go in and share my journey as an American immigrant migrating from Jamaica to America, and what that has taught me, what I was able to accomplish. And now here I am back in the country, motivating and inspiring other scholars like myself at the time, a few years ago, to let them know that just because you're here right now does not mean this is where your story ends. In fact, it's just beginning, and you have the opportunity and the power to change your life. Amazing. And I was training myself for motivational speaking at that time as well. I was listening to the likes of Les Brown, Tony Robbins, some amazing, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, some amazing speakers that have inspired me and continue to inspire me on this journey. And so at that moment, I was pumping up, I was fueling up, I was manifesting, I was affirming, and all these amazing things started to happen along the way. I even something that I wasn't planning for, got the chance to teach. I was teaching math to some adults at a local church that I grew up. I spent most of my teenage years growing up there. There's so much more that had happened over that 5 months journey, and I say all that to say, when I think about now, right now, there's some things that I'm praying for. There's some things that I am manifesting. There's some things that I am affirming for my life. And I realize that it takes being in a different mental space in order to attract certain things. Now, I know that in our regular everyday lives, they tell us that opposite attract. But listen, opposite attract, you don't want the opposite of what you're manifesting to attract to you. So when we think about the laws of attractions, we do not think about it like magnets in the traditional sense. We think about it like magnets in the sense that whatever it is that you're focusing on, whatever it is that we're giving our attention to, that is what we're pulling more to our lives. So at that moment, at that period where I was focusing on manifesting the good, manifesting abundance, manifesting motivational speaking opportunities, manifesting modeling opportunities, I had the opportunity to do so much and attract so much to me because I was in that headspace. So fast forward to today, where now the things that I am aspiring for, it requires me to shift and pivot into a different space of being. It requires me to use every cell in my body to focus and affirm that which I desire. What you focus on, you bring about. Yes? What we focus on, we bring about. We talk about gratitude. Right? Gratitude is the attitude. When we focus on gratitude, or when we talk about gratitude, it's essentially saying that when we draw our attention to things to be grateful for, we now have an awareness of gratitude. We have an awareness of things in our lives, people in our lives, opportunities in our lives that we can say thanks. Even though something isn't working out, there are things that are working out. And in focusing on the good, we attract more good to us in that sense. That is where the laws of attraction is working. If you focus on the bad, Complaining is draining. I heard somebody say that today. Complaining is draining. If you focus on the bad, that's what you're going to get more of. And so it's really hard at times. I will not lie to you. It is really hard at times when something happens and you want to get angry. And trust me, our emotions are valid, and we are allowed to feel all of our emotions in their entirety and authenticity. But at the end of the feel, give yourself a moment to feel, but don't stay there. Don't dwell there, because as you're dwelling there, you're bringing more of that to you. So give yourself permission to feel, to rest in that space of how you're feeling in that moment. Write it down if you have to. I've done that before. I've written down the things that are on my mind that are affecting me or causing negative emotions to arise. And once I write it down, I'll do one of two things. I will either fold the page, so then I don't see it. I've gotten it out of my head, and now I'm going to fold it. Or I will tear the page out and rip it up to say, this is me letting go. And once I've let go, I'm now moving on to something else. So it's important that we allow ourselves to feel. Laws of attraction, positive thinking, refocusing our mind is not about pretending that what we're feeling is not existing. No, it's about allowing ourselves to feel, yes, but then shifting the focus onto something positive. How can we reprogram our minds? I am grateful for all that I have in my life. I live the abundant life. I am constantly growing and developing. I use positive self-talk on a daily basis. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better and better. I love and respect myself. What we give our attention to, we bring about. And so, it requires every fiber in our beings at time to shift our mindset, to get away from the stinking thinking. Every time I say that, I have to laugh, but it is the truth. What are we feeding our minds? Just like our bodies, our minds need food. We are heavily influenced by our senses. This is the way in which we access information, by stimuli. See something, hear something, touch, smell. The stimuli stimulates responses from our bodies. It triggers our emotions or minds. When you look at something good, you feel good, don't you? Likewise, when you watch something sad, how does that make you feel? So the first thing we want to start to do when it comes to reprogramming and retraining our minds is being mindful of what it is that we're allowing into ourselves. What are we hearing? What are we seeing? Guarding our senses, guarding our thoughts, guarding our hearts. I also like to take it a step further. After being mindful and guarding what it is that we're taking in, we want to now feed it, right? It's kind of like you're on a diet, or maybe you're not on a diet, you're being selective about what it is that you're eating. And because you know you can't eat certain things, you're now going to take a proactive approach in feeding your body with what exactly it needs. I have a few books that I bought a few years ago, and I read some, but still have much to read. So every now and then I will revisit them. For example, The Alchemist. The Alchemist is one of my all-time favorite books by Paulo Coelho. And every time I'm on a new journey in my life, a lot of times I like to revisit The Alchemist, to just go through it with the character and feel myself going through this new journey as well. If I'm not reading The Alchemist, then I will find another book from my collection. For example, I will show you some of my goodies here. I've got The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. I've got Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways by Suzanne Jeffers. And I have the lovely, this one we all know about. You have probably seen it on YouTube a few times. I'm going to hold it up here for us. The Secret. I was cleaning the other day and I looked up, and this is exactly what caught my attention. And I said, well, will you look at that? Perfect timing, because I'm thinking about giving a message on how to renew our minds. So Perfect timing. So you can grab some text, grab some books, buy some books and read. There's so many options. Who's your favorite author? What do they have to say about how they reprogram or retrain their mind in order to get them to where they are now? And there's also audio. I can go on YouTube and I'll find some positive affirmation audios. They encourage you to listen to it in the morning, listen to it in the night. I say plug your headphones in and you can listen to it all through the day whenever you have some time. And you're gonna start to notice those shifts. You're gonna start to notice how you feel better, right? I spoke about it in another video. I said look good, feel good, get up and dress up, even when you don't want to, because it's a great pick-me-up for your mood. And the moment we begin to focus on more good, we attract more good. The moment we begin to focus and affirm that which we desire, we're attracting more of that. Now, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes, I'm going to call it the enemy, tries to bombard us. The enemy, life, tries to bombard us with things to test us. And in that moment, that's when we really have to dig deep to find the good in the situation. Cry if you must. Take a moment to step back if you must, but find the good. Don't stay there, right? I said it last time. We don't cry to stop. We cry to keep going. Feel all that we need to feel for the moment, then let it go. Find the good. Take a moment to find something to be grateful for so we can shift perspectives and keep going. If you have to get quiet to use that energy that you have to keep going, then that's what you have to do. I want to highlight a few Bible verses here because we just can't do without God, right? We just cannot do it without God either. And so the first one I'm going to speak to is Romans 12 verse 2. Romans 12 verse 2. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So transformation in our lives comes from us being able to renew our minds. And renewing comes from what it is that we're processing, what it is that we're hearing, and what it is that we're taking in. Bible also says faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So are we listening to audiobooks? Are we reading scripture? Are we listening to scripture, to sermons? What are we taking in? What information are we using to inform decisions that we are making, right? Information. Think about that. So be ye transformed by the renewing of our mind. Proverbs 23 verse 7. And this is one of my favorite quotes. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Man or woman thinketh in his or her heart, so is he or she. So whatever we're thinking in our hearts, it's a reflection of who we are. Whatever we're focusing on is a reflection of our reality, of our situation, of who we are. In the previous video, I mentioned about something the author wrote about where the person was going through a tough time and they became so focused on the mess that they were going through, they began to smell and look like a mess. And when they were able to realize that, their rut was speaking the story based on how they look, they were able to shift and start focusing on the good so they could smell fragrance and demonstrate that no matter what it is that's happening, right? Once we can shift our thinking, goodness comes, good, and we attract better to ourselves. So as we think in our heart, so are we. And the third verse that I will mention here, Matthew 7 verse 7 to 8. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be open. Okay? So we talk about the laws of attraction. What are we asking for? Are you asking God for your desires? Are you talking to God about the desires of your heart? Doesn't mean that he's going to grant all of them, because of course, as we mentioned before, we are co-creators of our lives and destinies. So to whomever you pray to, or to whomever you believe in, you didn't put yourself here on this planet, so you are co-creating. So whatever is to be will be, but it is also important that we're speaking life into the things that we desire, and we're speaking things into existence, because words have power. Okay, and that is evident, and that has been evident through time. Anything that we see before us is a manifestation of something someone said, something someone thought, and then made it physical. So what are we asking God for? What are we asking life for? What are we seeking? Are we seeking the good so we can see more good and become aware of more goodness and attract more goodness? Are we seeking negative things? What doors are we knocking on? Doors of opportunity or doors of doom? What choices are we making? And what information are we using to make these informed decisions? These are all important questions to ask ourselves as we continue on this journey to renew, to restore, to transform our minds as we are transformed by this transformation process. So I encourage us all to start to think about, because it starts to become metacognitive. Think about what we're thinking about and see how we can slowly begin to make these little shifts and changes so we can attract more greatness to our lives, and so we can have a whole shift for the better in everything that it is that we desire. So I wish us nothing but the best. Let me rephrase that. I wish us the absolute best. Continue to be blessed. Your affirmations should be stated in present tense and kept positive. You are blessed. I am blessed. We speak positivity over our lives. We are reprogramming our minds, and we are getting ready for this new season of our lives. The best is yet to come. Greatness is happening now. Each and every day, we're getting better, better, and better. We are attracting the life that we desire. Thank you all so much. See you at the top, because you absolutely deserve it. Each one, reach one, teach one, and I will see you soon in another video. Again, welcome to all the newbies. Thank you for subscribing. Continue to watch more videos. Tell your friends, tell your family. Come join my family. See you soon. Thank you guys so much for chiming in, for tuning in, for taking the time to sit with me here and having a conversation. We've got a few goals for the channel. Goal 2 is to hit 1,000 subscribers and get 4,000 watched hours in order for this channel to be monetized. What that means is, once your channel is monetized on YouTube, you're able to turn your YouTube channel into a business and be able to be compensated for your expertise. So I know you guys love me. I know you love the content, and I know each one, reach one, teach one. As always, we want to help each other, and so I know that you are willing to help this channel grow. There are a few ways in which you can help. The first is to watch the videos, which you're already doing. Watch the videos all the way to the end, because the YouTube algorithm can tell how long a viewer is watching the video for. And so if you're not watching the video all the way through, it's not sending a positive message to YouTube, and we want to send a positive message to YouTube. I know you're watching the videos all the way through. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to comment in the comment section. Leave some feedback. Leave a warm vibe. Ask me some questions. What type of content would you like to see on this channel? Every time you watch a video on this channel, or any other YouTube channel for that matter, when you like the videos, it sends a message to YouTube that it's good content, and it allows YouTube to promote the videos to more people. So the first thing is to watch the videos all the way through. Second thing is to like the videos. Third thing is to leave a comment of what it is that you would like to see more of on this channel. And the fourth thing is to share. Share the content. Share it to your friends. Share it to your colleagues. Share it to your neighbors. Who do you know that could use some of these resources, whether it's for the classroom, whether it's motivation, or whether it's a how-to? Who do you know that can use this? Thank you so much for sharing. And as always, thank you so much for coming on each and every time there's a new video posted and upload, and watching as well as sharing some warm love, whether it's a thumbs up or dropping a vibe in the comment section. It is appreciated. So the goal is 1,000 plus subscribers and 4,000 watched hours. And I believe that it's already done.